Hello. I'm giving you a short report on the state of the church right now. And if you received the email letter and have read it, then you already know what I'm going to say. If you have not, I just thought this might be a nice way to do it. That way, I don't know, you have a little more social interaction. So I want to share with you a quote first. And this comes from, and I'm probably butchering the name, Yvon Chouinard, who is the person who started the company Patagonia, in his book, Let My People Go Surfing. New employees coming into a company with a strong culture and values may think that they shouldn't rock the boat and shouldn't challenge the status quo. On the contrary, while values should never change, every organization, business, government, or religion must be adaptive and resilient and constantly embrace new ideas and methods of operation. So as you know, the church has changed. For many, it seems almost unrecognizable in its current state. The ever-changing landscape before us calls each of us as leaders of the church to become more to the forefront of our own families and even our neighborhoods in meaningful ways in our daily lives. So as your pastor, I've been striving to keep my sight on the horizon, far out. What does things look like in the future? So that we can continue to adapt and evolve in ways that stay true to the message of Jesus Christ and meets the needs of our congregation and to provide ways for us to share Christ in our community. Due to this focus and avenue, I've been working on a whole bunch of different things and making adjustments and changes as we've needed to. In the past month, we have taken our weekly sermons recording and expanded upon it. So now instead of just announcement, scripture, and message, you'll get an opening prayer, a pastoral prayer, and Lord's Prayer, as well as a benediction. We've also expanded our online presence with a YouTube channel, and this YouTube channel is under my name, so I include additional materials, things that I might come up with through the weeks or figure out. An additional step that I've taken is to solicit volunteers to write weekly devotionals, and you should be seeing these either in the newsletter or as separate dialogues, which I hope have been really helpful to you. We've also mailed out our weekly newsletter, and in addition to that, we've been mailing out the sermons with it to try to connect those individuals who are not technologically savvy at all. Beginning this week, actually not this week, it was last week, we started our Canoeing the Mountains Bible study back up. This was the study we were doing during Lent. So we're doing that over Zoom, and this has provided a wonderful ministry opportunity for us, but it's also had some roadblocks. There are many who don't want to use Zoom because of security issues that the software has, and I understand that, and we are currently working on options within that. Shortly in the future, I will be offering a Zoom Bible study, and there was a survey that was sent out, and we're still gathering the information to make those decisions. The work week has also changed for me in too many ways to count. The essential difference in the change right now is that my weekly messages are typically done by late Tuesday. Of course, I'm recording this video and it's not done yet, but sometimes that happens. We do that so we can send out the sermon on Thursday with the newsletter, and so that everything's set up and in case there are any technical difficulties. The future is difficult to see right now, and my encouragement for the church is to focus on small, measurable achievements each week. So while I've been focused on some of those big items farther into the future, I try not to get myself overwhelmed by focusing on those small steps right now. The current goals I'm focusing on are an increased video and sound quality. You've already been seeing the result of this, and this is a special thanks to Stephanie and Jim Croonan for purchasing this equipment. I'm working on more video content, so you're seeing all sorts of random videos. Eventually, what I would like to do is have our devotionals that are written be done by the person who wrote them as a small video, but we're not there yet. And the other small step that I'm looking and that we need to continue to focus on is congregational involvement. One thing we've discovered when Angie in the office asked for help, everybody assumed there are people volunteering, and that's not the case. Too many volunteers has not been the problems. Some of our goals over the past month have been put off because we're not getting the people who want to do it. So we have some possible changes that will be happening with that, trying to send some targeted newsletter and all sorts of different things. We're also continuing to work on trying to connect those who are not on the internet into our church life. And that has been a series of difficult steps that we're still trying to figure out. So all of these goals are going to be accomplished by small, measurable amounts. We're not rushing off into new ideas right now, especially since the landscape is ever changing. Often what has happened to me in the last month is I get an idea figured out, or we start working on something and then something changes and we can't do it. So we're taking it small and measured at a time. The looming question I know on most people's minds is, when will we be back to worship? And the short answer is, we don't know. I'm watching conference communications and the CDC and information from our nation about what's going to be going on. I do believe we will be closed longer than the April 30th date. But more information, hopefully in the next week, will be coming out about that. When we do get back together, and this is another problem I'm working on, is there will have to be major changes to our worship service. Until there are vaccines and treatments, we have to exist in a new way of being. We are the church together. I have been so proud of this church, how they have handled the pandemic, and I know that you are striving to share Jesus' love to people around you every day. And my prayers are with you, and I know you are praying for me, and I just know God will continue to lead us into the future because God has been leading us all along. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Goodbye.